Well, hey everybody, it is Wes Hagen. Welcome to Day Drinking on this beautiful 6th day of July, summer 2020. And here we are in beautiful Orchid, California, where it reached a blazing hot 71 degrees as a high today. A gorgeous, gorgeous, perfect day for ripening Pinot Noir, Chardonnay, Pinot Blanc, Syrah, Grenache, all those wonderful grapes we grow at Biennacido and Solomon Hills here at the Miller Family Wine Company. So welcome everybody. I hope you're well. I hope you're hanging in there. And I hope you're ready to learn something about wine tonight. So a couple little things about sort of my plans for the show, and these are sort of tentative as they always are. Well, first thing, of course, we're going to have our show Wednesday, and then Friday, big important show on Friday. We will have Santa Barbara County winemaking legend Ken Brown in the house for a Zoom webinar that will be broadcast not only here at J.Wilkes Wine Santa Barbara, but it will also be simulcast over on Zoom. So I will put up that, and if you'd like to come in on the Zoom, you're more than welcome to join us there. And really looking forward to this Friday. Ken Brown is pretty much my choice for my favorite winemaker in California. An amazing mind, someone who has seen sort of the alpha and the omega. Hey Phil, how are you? And it's good to see you as well, Nick. So this Friday, 5 o'clock, Ken Brown from Ken Brown Wines and originally from Byron. And obviously the Miller Family Wine Company now, almost every single winemaker, in fact, every titled winemaker we have at the Miller Family Wine Company has worked under Ken Brown now. Roxy Ward, John Crandall, as well as Jonathan Nagy. And Nagy worked under him at Byron significantly. So I think we're going to not only get to understand a little bit more about Ken Brown, who he is and how his brain works and what he knows about wine, specifically Pinot Noir, will be a lot of our conversation, but also really how his influence on the winemakers at the Miller Family Wine Company has changed the company. So that's going to be really fun. So happy summer, happy Monday, and today, very exciting, at 5 o'clock when we bring in all our Instagram friends, we are going, and I'm going to make a little room for my better half here, who's going to be helping tonight.
Make a hole.
Ian, make a hole. Here she comes, wheelchair and all.
It is not wheelchair accessible back here. I'm just saying.
Yes, I am liable to get an ADA lawsuit because of my studio, but it's ironic because who set up said studio?
Private home studio.
It is a private home studio. It's a private home studio, and of course, my wife Chanda. She showered specifically for all you guys, so thank you.
I fluffed up my hair. And
her hair's looking lovely, and it was recolored this weekend, knowing that she was going to be on camera.
It's the best I can do at home.
It is. She's rocking it. She's absolutely rocking it. So what we're going to do at 5 o'clock tonight is wow, 9 people already, honey. We are going to, and they all came in the last 30 seconds.
Aww.
I would too. So 5 o'clock. This is not for COVID reasons, although I do use this for COVID reasons on a regular basis, although I have better masks. I will be blindfolding myself, and Chanda will be serving me one wine at a time, in which I will evaluate, make my best and stupidest attempts to, my best attempts to figure out what wine. It can only be about 1 out of 16 wines, because we are going to be using Miller Family wines tonight. 3 out of 16 wines. So, you know, it's not an open system. If you think about how many wines there are in the world, a million wines a year.
There were some boxes in there that I could have pulled.
Yes, that's true. Actually, it would probably be more like 35 to 40 wines because I also keep a library.
Because of course, where am I going to pull right from the front? No, I'm going to dig in the back and underneath because I'm just mean like that.
She's not mean at all, but she is one of the most honest people I know. So when I was like, honey, I really want to do this, like up to snuff, make sure everyone knows that this is like real and I'm not cheating. And she's like, oh yeah, there's just absolutely no doubt. So it's gonna be kind of fun. And then I was also having some shower thoughts. I usually, just like most of us, I do some of my best thinking while I'm surrounded by a nice stream of warm water. I was actually thinking about one way to kind of tweak the show. We've been now almost ready for 100 episodes, and I'm going to be counting, probably tomorrow morning. I'm going to count how many episodes there are. And kind of what I'm thinking is change the kind of tenor of the show and break it up perhaps into 2 15-minute periods. So it's 15 minutes on 2 subjects, Monday, Wednesday, and then on Friday we have a guest. So it'll be a full, probably 30 to 60 minutes guests. I haven't told Chanda this. This is absolutely brand new to her.
I'm learning.
Yeah, and then so what I'm concerned only a little bit is when we're putting these videos over on YouTube, people are probably seeing that there is just like a voluminous amount of information, but they see hour and 10 minutes, and that just is probably a little too much to chew. So what I'm thinking of is taking a lot of the subjects we've talked about right now, really focus in and try to give much more of a structured lecture, as well as answering some questions. So what this would mean is probably setting up these subjects at least a couple weeks in advance, encouraging you guys to write in questions, and then getting through those questions as quickly as we can.
I'm gonna go get my glasses.
You're going to get your glasses.
So I can see
Excellent.
things.
Awesome. So we got about 7 or 8 minutes before we get on, but I hope everything is... Oh yes, Josh. Yes, I decided just in case my wife gives me completely and terrible wines, I'm wearing the... No, I shouldn't even make jokes about that. But yes, no, I've been... it's a beautiful warm day, and I'm just really enjoying it. And I thought whatever I'm going to put on my face, I'm not going to get a collar's not going to get in the way. So yes, I got the tank top ready to rock. I just watched the World Championships of CrossFit this morning, and the last time I felt like I needed to work out more like that was probably walking down Lincoln Boulevard in South Beach, Florida, thinking that all those people do is work out 3 hours in the morning, then they do yoga for 2 hours, and then they grease up and strut. So don't worry, I will never grease up and strut for you, but once in a while, you love where we go with this show. This is what happens, a couple weeks in, couple months in, right? So we had a fairly... Is that the wrong glasses?
Keep trying. I just can't see anything,
Right on. So we had a fairly cool day today. Like I said, the weather's just been absolutely gorgeous up here. My dad is telling us about 107 degrees down in Palm Desert, California, and here in the Santa Maria Valley, we basically have one of the coolest summers anywhere in the world. In fact, our summers our high temperatures are constantly at or below that of Anchorage, Alaska, mainly because of the Coriolis effect and the Pacific Ocean. So we're basically getting a churning effect out of the cold air, the cold deep water of the channel, the Santa Barbara Channel. And as that water stays incredibly cool all the way through the summer in the 50s, just getting into the 60s, probably around September, that really has a profound impact on the way that our temperatures basically stay around during the summer. So July and August are going to be average temperature in July is about 73. Average high temperature in August is about 74, and then we go up to an average high of 77 in September, and then back to 75 in October. So September is by far our warmest month. Eddie Gray's in the house. Christy Marshall, yes. Cooler weather. You should come up to Santa Maria. High of 71. It barely got 70. In fact, I have 4 cases of wine in the back of the car right now in our garage that faces the sun, and I'm going to run out really quick and get those boxes of wine because I love wine and I don't want it to cook. And I'll leave you. With my
I
wine.
need to get my glasses. Okay, I want to ask you guys. So I've got a white, a rosé, and a red. And I'm wondering, should I do them in like a crazy order, or should I do them in like a reasonable order? What do you guys think? Out of order, in order? Which would throw him off more? Hi. You guys have any suggestions? I'm Chanda, by the way, in case you didn't know my name. No order, so out of order, okay. Oh, I like the, Peter, I can't say it out loud because I like your idea. Yeah, I like that, Philip. Hey, hi, Eddie. All right, that's a good idea because I'll do the one at the end, so it won't mess up the lighters. All right. That's a good plan. And then I have one extra funny thing for him to taste at the end. One funny thing for you to taste at the end.
I think I'm being set up here.
Hi, puppies. Are you going to come visit? Are you going to come visit?
Hi, Mr. Gran.
We got dogs down below. Oh my gosh, don't knock those over. That would be bad.
There you go, Gran. Hop up.
Come on.
I gotcha. Got the puppies.
We got 2 reds on one side and a graying brown hair on the other.
Is it little Peregrine?
Yes, that is the Gran. He is an amazing little hound, and we love him a lot. Although he definitely would wear a helmet and ride the short bus. He's got issues. He's got issues, but he's willing to deal with us.
He has a little PTSD.
He does.
He was attacked by some dogs.
He's still very special. He's a very good dog. Mix them up. How's everyone doing? Christy? Well, I'm doing fantastic. I had a pretty wonderful day. Got a lot done early this morning. Had a weekly sales call. Actually, Miller Family Wine Company is sort of doing really, really well with a lot of challenges, and our kind of pivot to direct to consumer is really working out. So it's a fairly encouraging phone call, which I can't say all of them this year have been, but really, really excited that happened. And then we actually had the folks that had been cleaning our house that haven't for what, 4 months?
Since early March. They haven't been here.
So 4 months, we've basically been, well, she's been cleaning the house. I've been trying not to be horrifically messy. But,
super hard to actually clean a house in a wheelchair, I'll tell you.
But we actually got our entire house cleaned today, and
so fresh.
And had them stay an extra hour and paid them a little more. Gave them a couple bottles of Barrel Burner, which hopefully they'll enjoy. And really looking forward to basically enjoying this clean house without me seeing my wife trying to slave away and hurt herself doing so. All well and good.
Yay.
What else did we do today? We took a walk. We drove. Where did we drive? We went and picked up wine at the winery, some samples for so I can taste wine with all you fine folks, including a mystery wine that I just pulled out of the back of the truck. So in case there's a very small chance she snuck out there and got one. There's a new varietal that we're about to release in the J.Wilkes world at the tasting room, and it is actually Chanda's. Would you say that Pinot Noir is your favorite red wine?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And then second favorite?
Second favorite.
I would guess it's our new varietal, but
maybe. It might depend on who makes it.
Right. No, I think you really like French Cabernet Franc. I think you're kind of a Loire girl, kind of Saumur and, Chinon, all that good stuff. So Cabernet Franc, we are making a varietal Cab Franc, just a couple hundred cases, but we are going to be releasing it. I was supposed to do tasting notes on it today, but I guess that'll be sort of breakfast wine for tomorrow. Nice, fresh palate. I also
want to do blind tasting.
No, not even knowing what it was, but that would have been interesting, right?
I know.
No, but I also am looking forward to not only trying this Cab Franc now that it's been in bottle for at least a couple weeks, but also getting my head wrapped around the fact that now that we're making Cab Franc and that it's so exciting. I thought when we made that wine, it might ended up, being a blender, but no, it was damn good. And we're putting it in the silver label and putting it under a silver capsule, which means very, very special wine. And the Cab Franc is from the Paso Robles Highlands District, French Camp Vineyard. And I believe I'll have to look at I've got the final blending report, but if I remember, it might be like 5% Cab or Sauv or 5% Merlot. But I think it's 95% Cab Franc. And I'm really, really looking. It's like, Anu, what's going on? How are you? And Nick's in the house. Let's bring some of these crazy folks over from the Instagram. And on we go, live. There it is. And it is 5 o'clock, so let's get going.
It is 5 o'clock.
It is 5 o'clock, which means it's day drinking with Wes Hagen, and you are lucky today for so many reasons. The first reason you're so lucky is my wife is here, and this is Chanda. Say hi to everybody, Chanda.
Hello, everybody.
She's my wife of almost 20 years. We'll be celebrating
almost 21 years.
No, this will be our 20th anniversary.
Oh.
We were married in 2000. That's why we did this.
But like we've been together.
We've been together for 21 years as of April 9th. And then we'll have been married 20 years officially on September 9th.
That makes sense.
9900.
He's better at dates than I am.
Obviously, the reason we got married on 9900 is I could remember easily how many years I've been married by just basically looking.
And apparently I still can't.
That's okay. That's okay. I'm
That's
really
what I have
good.
you for.
I'm really good at liberal arts math, and you aren't. So I can
See all my scratches.
I can change that. Bunny scratches?
I got scratched by a rabbit.
Yes. So was that the
was
mom
Luna.
or the dad?
That was mom.
And we will show you guys some more bunny pictures soon. People seem to really, really enjoy those bunny
Well,
pics.
they're crazy
They're
cute.
big and they're starting to get
They
pretty
gain
large.
they double their weight every week.
That's crazy. And they'll be big bunnies. So what are we doing tonight on Day Drinking? This is going to be really, really fun. We're going to do true blind tasting, and we're going to get into this right away. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off these glasses. I'm going to put this over my face. Chanda can take a swing at me to see if I flinch. And then I've got 3 glasses in front of me. 1, 2, 3. And 3, and then I will sit here quietly, and she's not going. I've asked her. I only have one rule that I gave her. 2 rules. One, the wines all have to come out of the sample room. So I know that there's probably about 30 wines, including the library, that were available to her. So it's all going to be Miller family wine. So it's either going to be Ballard Lane, Barrel Burner, Smashberry, and or J.Wilkes. And I've asked her that I want at least 1 wine and at least red wine. So it could be white wine, one white wine, at least one white wine, 1 red wine.
There is.
And then the one in the middle.
They know a little more about that.
It doesn't matter the order. I'm hoping that she does her best to confound me.
Situated an order.
Really?
I got good suggestions for the order.
Oh, nice.
So,
well, I'd say we just get into it after I take 2 minutes to decide kind of what I'm going to be doing, because who knows what I'm going to be saying once I get blindfolded. I really am going to be focusing on fundamental deductive wine reasoning, which means I'm going to be asking myself the most fundamental questions possible, including those questions that truly someone who couldn't see would have to ask. Is it red? Is it white? Is it pink? And I don't think I want to really do that and make a final determination. I'm going to take you through my deductive process, but at the same time, I want to make sure that I'm not going to make a final decision on what I think it is till I get to the very end and make that determination. First of all, I should say I have tasted out of opaque glasses, which you look in and you still can't see the color. And I have made the mistake of thinking a white wine was red. So that was a long, long time ago.
Does that matter?
I don't know. Potentially your palate is better when you're young. And hopefully this will prove I'll at least get one. I'll at least say, that's red wine. And you'll say, yay. And I'll say, yay, I don't have the COVID. It is a very frightening situation where some people are having problems losing their ability to smell and taste, which I'm reading a lot about.
Long periods.
Yet another reason why I wear a mask. I listen to scientists, and I don't go into public unless I absolutely have to. And when I do, I stay outside and I wear a damn mask, and I got lots of hand sanitizer.
Worry. I'm protecting him.
She is amazingly nasty when it comes to my health.
I'm already a germaphobe. Piece of cake.
Have you been in training this whole time?
I've been in training for 48 years for this. I'm good to go.
She is absolutely ready. So we've got Chanda. She's all ready to rock and roll. I'm going to go ahead and pull these off, and you're going to say, wow, you look really weird without your glasses on, Wes. And I'll say, yes, I do. Okay, so this.
Okay. Good.
Okay, would you like to check?
You didn't flinch. You're good to go.
I don't even know. I feel like Towley. I don't even know where I am.
Okay, I'm going to at least give you a glass in front of you.
Okay.
I'm going to move this so you don't knock it up. So there's your glass.
Okay, I've got my hand on the glass.
Okay, and I'm going to grab wine number 1. And
Okay.
I will show everybody what it is, yes?
Remember, yes, it is backwards, but they'll get the idea.
Okay, I mean, yeah, you'll get the idea. Okay, so as per the group, we are starting with this. Okay, so you can kind of see what we got here. I'm not gonna, you can't really read all the fine print. That's okay, because I'm gonna pour. Yeah.
Should we dedicate this tasting to Molly Burke?
Sure, if you want to follow the most awesome blind YouTuber ever, her name is Molly Burke.
And honestly, she has added the idea of blindness to our normal lives.
Well, I found her because she has a guide dog and I have a service dog, and our dogs kind of look a little similar, and I started following her on YouTube, and then I learned so much from her about being blind, and it was fascinating.
Okay, so first thing I'm going to do, even though I can't see it, I'm going to swirl the wine. Probably the best thing I can do as I swirl is keep the base of the wine on the table, so I'm not going too much.
Don't splash me.
Fortunately, I do know that my wife knows how to pour wine very well, so I'm guessing there's probably less than a couple ounces in the glass. All right, I can already smell a little bit of the aroma. The first thing I'm smelling from where I am coming off the glass would make me anticipate at first that I was smelling a white wine, but I won't be able to tell until I get my nose deep in this glass.
Yes, olfactory tasting every night.
What I smell is a little bit of flintiness. What it smells like is either an under-oaked Chardonnay or a Sauvignon Blanc with a little bit of age on it. I don't think it's Pinot Blanc. Well,
it's nice that you're wearing a white shirt, actually, because you can really see the wine, you know, against your
now that I
shirt.
said that,
someone who unfortunately I can't see their names, just drank a bottle of what you're drinking yesterday. Yes.
No, this is either Sauvignon Blanc or Pinot Blanc. It's definitely white, it's definitely aromatic, it's definitely unoaked. I don't get any malolactic. I get melon, I get apple, I get... Are you whispering? So what I'm thinking, first of all, allowing my nose to take me anywhere it wants to go, no judgment right away, and trying not to define the wine too quickly, but instead allow it, take your time, allow it to become in your mouth, in your glass, in your nose.
So are you going to take your blindfold off in between?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
And so I still can't see the other wines, right, if I take this off?
You cannot.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and guess that this is a 2018 Pinot Blanc from J.Wilkes. No way. I got it. Okay. 0 for 0. I just missed rosé. I didn't get any red fruit. I got no apple skin. I got no strawberry.
This is the
2019 Smashberry Rosé.
Paso, obviously.
Completely and totally. I got a lot of mineral from this wine, which is weird because it doesn't have a hell of a lot of acidity. Confounded. All right. So clearly, 25-year professional wine judge just missed Grenache Rosé for Pinot Blanc. There's more mineral in here than I would imagine. All right, no excuses. Back to work. Any questions about what I just did or why I screwed up? So we've got, dough. I got a dough. Tricky. And I got
It's not easy.
No, but, you know, theoretically, I should be able to figure this out. That was a tricky one.
No oak.
That's true, Jim. I did get no oak and no mallow. No, dude. Trust me, my ego needs every opportunity to be sublimated, so thank you. She's trying not to laugh.
Hey, I couldn't do it.
That's awesome. So brand new bottle of rosé. Certainly came across as a white wine. I'm much more comfortable knowing that I missed a white wine, a rosé, thinking it was a white than if it was a red. So, all right, okay, here we go.
Having fun?
Okay, we're having fun. Let's do it again. I can drink all night if we. All right.
You do hairs. You got so much hairs. All right, let's see. I gotta find the bottle. Found it. And here's your glass in front of you. And it's not full yet, though. So you can. All right. Oh nope, this is the wrong one. Hold on. I gotta get the other one.
She's got a plan.
Oh, I just can't.
Clearly, I've been married to her long enough to know that she has a plan.
Accessible behind this table.
That's like the first 10 years of your marriage. You're like, oh man, why do you have a plan? I'm fine. I don't need a plan. I don't need to get better. I don't need to be I don't need to improve. And then like 10 years in, if you're going to stay married, you're like, wow, this woman really wants me to be the best person that I can be.
Don't move. I'm trying to show both. Oh, it's a little bright. I hope you guys can see that. I hope you can see that. I'm trying to get the light up to... Okay.
All right, I am ready for self-improvement.
You are ready for wine number 2.
I am ready for wine number 2. All right. Feels like there's wine in there. I'm going to have to try to get my nose exposed.
Yes, you need your nose. You don't need your eyeballs, but you need your nose. Put it down here for a minute.
Well, here we go again. Aromatic white. It's pretty expressive. I think I'm already think I know exactly what it is. My original thought is I smell the white aromatics of Viognier. And then, of course, my brain starts thinking, well, you were wrong before, so potentially could this be Pinot Blanc? Could this be Sauvignon Blanc? And it could, although I'm getting a little more of the flowery, white flower, terpene hint of like cheddar rennet that I normally get in a Viognier.
I bet most people don't know what cheddar is.
So rennet is a protein that makes cheese basically turn into cheese, and it's basically the scraping from a cow's stomach. It's kind of gross, but it's the way cheese is made. So, and cheddar rennet gives the cheddar the real flavor of cheddar. So, yeah. Okay, so deductively, this is where I'm going. First of all, white, pink, red. We've already done pink, and we only have one pink one in the. No, that's not true. She could have given me the J.Wilkes rosé, which is also Grenache based, which would be very, very cruel and unusual, but it would be...
That really would have been horrible.
Oh, see? I got it. I didn't mean for her to tell me the truth.
Remember your instructions.
One white, one red. I would, I do not remember any Pinot Blanc we've made being this aromatic, nor can I remember many Viogniers to be a little bit more restrained. I think this aromatically, some Viogniers, I could smell them from here. A little bit of salinity. I better taste it, right?
That would probably help.
And this is why I would almost stake the farm on this being Viognier. It is the only white wine in the portfolio that is over 15% alcohol, except for the Bourbon Barrel Cabernet Sauvignon. This is 15.2% alcohol, and because this wine is room temperature, I asked all the wines to be served in cellar temperature, 65 degrees. This wine does finish with some noticeable heat. So I'm going to say this is 2018 J.Wilkes Viognier. Oh, thank God.
Let's see if I can get this.
Oh,
Hopefully that light isn't too bright.
Thank glorious atheismo, because that would have been horrific if I would have missed
and it is
two.
backwards, yeah, sorry.
Yes, so that is 2018 Paso Robles Highlands District Viognier. I got it because of the aromatics, and I also got it because of the heat in the mouth. So Pinot Blanc would not have had that unctuousness. So I knew it was probably going to be a white Rhone. The way I was going, if it wasn't going to be Viognier, I was pretty sure it was going to be Sauvignon Blanc, because I thought it was a little too aromatically intense for Pinot Blanc. So that was a good start. And even though I only got it out of 1 out of about 20, it was still, that was a very nice one to pour second, because she kind of fooled me the first time, which I thought that was kind of cool. And then the second time, she gave me something that I really should have figured out. But it was tricky because she's generally not much of a domestic Viognier girl. Generally, she prefers...
You didn't think I would pick it because it was Viognier?
My first thought was, my God, it's obviously Viognier. No, it's not, because Chanda would never bring...
Why would I pick it?
Why would Chanda bring me a varietal that doesn't excite her quite as much as some? So, got that one, and I thought that if it was cold, it probably would have been harder. So if it was cold, I might have missed the elevated alcohol because of a little bit of warmth in the palate. and I might have gone straight to, and it also would have had more delicate aromatics. I probably would have gone to Pinot Blanc if I didn't get the unctuousness and I didn't get a little bit of that sort of wonderful white floral peach skin. Stone fruit in Viognier, stone fruit in Pinot Blanc, they can be a little close. So I used my deductive reasoning, I stuck with my guns, and when I put it in my mouth, I knew what I was tasting. I made that basically snap judgment. So good stuff, and good call. This is exactly what I need right now. So, all right, we'll finish the Viognier, because waste not, want not.
This will help for the next one.
Day drinking. I hope you guys are having something delicious in your glass. Chanda, your gin and tonic is disappearing rather quickly.
Yeah? What are you going to do about it?
Well, I'm not drinking, otherwise I'm going to have, my glucose is going to go through the, you know, like I keep saying this, but gosh, you know, I can't drink gin and tonics anymore when I found out that tonic water has 37 grams of carbs per serving. That's the exact same as Coca-Cola. So drinking a Coke, drinking a tonic is exactly the same amount of sugar. Weird, right? Right?
It is weird.
It is weird.
All
Okay.
Right. Are you ready?
I'm having so much fun. I'm thinking we should do a bonus round. Any
Well,
wine?
there is an extra.
You could bring something from the cellar.
Well,
I mean, our
already-
cellar. Or you already did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just something to make sure your nose is available.
This is not what you want to do with your mask.
Yes.
Okay, so not an endocrinologist. So an epidemiologist, a scientist, and a rabbi walk into a bar. Nah, it's a bad joke because they would never do that because they're too smart. Okay.
All right. I am going to pour your wine. Don't knock it over.
I have no idea where my elbow is, so I'll just take it off the table.
That's probably good.
My parents taught me better. Okay, so deductively, I'm assuming this is going to be
I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see this, but
and deductively, of course, it has to be a red. So my choices are going to be Pinot Noir from Ballard Lane, 4 different vintages. Pinot Noir from J.Wilkes, 4 different vintages. Pinot Noir from J.Wilkes from the Santa Rita Hills, 2 different vintages. The other 4 vintages being Santa Maria Valley. Let's see, Zinfandel, 3 different options. Legrine, 2 different options. Cabernet Sauvignon, 5 different options. And, well, Cabernet Franc, potentially. And that would be all the wines. Am I missing anything from Cab Sauv? No, that would be about it. So there's a lot of red wine here.
there's a lot of wine.
All right, so we got wine in the
Hopefully
glass.
it's red.
Well, you know.
I could have not followed directions.
Now, this is, you know, I am incredibly familiar with all these wines, which really gets me wondering why the hell I couldn't get that rosé. But, you know, I do probably I've tasted all of these wines within the last 2 years, and I've tasted most of these wines within the last 2 months. So I should give full disclosure on that. By the way, if you ever go to a wine a symposia or a seminar and you want to see something funny, try to go to a seminar or suggest a seminar where 8 winemakers that all make Pinot Noir all taste each other's wines and try to discover out of the 8 in front of them which one is theirs. I've done this experience like 5 times, and it's almost amazing how few winemakers can actually pick out their own wine. One reason we did this at the LA County Fair Wine Competition is to show why the director decided that people who enter their own wines into competition can be on the panel where that wine is judged. Because in general, there's no statistic significance to show that anyone can actually figure out.
The one time I did it, I totally picked out our wine like a piece of cake. I don't know why it was so hard for her.
Super palate. I got a Y chromosome. I'm screwed.
I think I would have. I picked the vineyard. I think I would have more trouble picking between winemakers making wine from the same vineyard, though.
Okay.
But anyway, what color does it smell like?
You're screwing with me, because this is a very atypical red wine. There's no cassis, which would make me think Cabernet. There's no bright cherry and underbrush, which would make me think Pinot Noir. You know, there's no sort of kind of blackberry, cherry, and blue, like a little bit of maybe Also cassis with a little bit of like graphite or sort of an earthy complexity that I would think of as Cab Franc. I don't get a confectionery. I don't get a confectionery character like I would from Grenache or even though there's no varietal Grenache that we do. There's also a chance that it's Kent's Red. And Kent's Red would be 90% Lagrein, 90% Barbera, 10% Lagrein. Took me a moment. I guess I need my eyes to think sometimes. What I smell is lower ripeness, tiny little bit of like underripe acidity in the red wine. And I haven't put it in my mouth yet. It also has a sanguine character. Sanguine means bloody. It means, I like sanguine. I also like the if you want to get really visceral, I've been known to say it's like sucking a wound. Most Italian wines have a very strong iron component in my palate. If I want to know, if someone says, all right, is that domestic or is that Italian? I look for that sanguine character, that sort of like iron minerality in my mouth that seems to occur in almost all Italian reds. I do find a slight iron sort of sanguine character to this wine. And also, it's a little bit of a cheat, but I know that the 2018 Lagrein is only 12.7% alcohol. And this wine smells quite Euro to me, in the sense that it has liveliness and verve just popping out of the glass, which kind of makes me think it is a low ripeness production from the Miller Family Wine Company and or J.Wilkes. The fruits are so evident but understated. That's what's kind of has me in a little bit of a state of being confounded. That the aromatic potentiality of this wine seems to have been slightly hamstrung by early harvest. It is not ripe, overripe, slutty, overt. It is very delicate and nuanced, and also shows a little bit more of those sort of earthy and herbal character of a wine that's not completely overripe. So in the mouth, I'm looking for fruit, tannin, acid, finish. Tannins are rough and large, monomeric, meaning they're single molecules that are still kind of busting my taste buds up a little bit.
What does that tell you?
That means that we have fairly clunky tannins, which mean I would think this is not a Pinot Noir. I think it's got too much grip and has none of the aromatic points that I would be looking for in Pinot, which would be cherry, a little bit of, baking spice character, maybe a little raspberry or blackberry, blueberry, or strawberry, especially if it was from the Santa Rita Hills. Why isn't it Ballard Lane Cabernet? Why isn't it Ballard Lane Zin? The Ballard Lane wines, I think, have a little tiny bit more residual sugar, and the J.Wilkes wines are just a little more bone dry. You know, when you're putting out an $8 glass pour or a $12.99 bottle on the shelf, generally that price point likes a little bit of breadth, a little bit of richness, and a little bit of tiny bit of residual sugar to elevate the aromatics. I don't get that in this wine at all. I get a damn close to bone dry wine.
Hopefully you guys
lower
can
ripeness.
read that now, since it's all backwards, I think, but yeah, so to hold up the bottle again so I can see.
Of course. So I think it has little too much tannin for Zin. Certainly could be Cabernet, but I don't think this style lends itself. I'm going to say this is 2018 J.Wilkes Lagrein. Damn, I said, why isn't it Ballard Lane Cab?
Don't talk yourself out of it.
That is a fairly serious wine.
You really, you were so, I thought for sure you were going to
nail it.
Because you were like right there, and I was like, what the
Well, it's nice when you say, well, certainly it's not X. I mean, that's hedging your bets, right? I want revenge. Do we have one more wine in the house?
One more wine?
Yeah.
I have another. I've got another glass for you.
Oh, sweet.
It's a total fun one.
How could I say no to total fun from a redhead?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if you think it's fun.
17. So this is one vintage behind. We're on the 18. No, actually, I think we're still selling the 17. This wine is really quite elegant and quite dry. I'm surprised for a wine at that price point that it would have that dry, serious, tannic character.
Pick up all these bottles so no dogs knock them over from underneath.
Absolutely.
Because they're on the floors.
All right, what do you think? Should we do one more and then kind of like...
It's just a silly, fun little one.
Okay, well, how am I supposed to say no to silly and fun?
I wish I could write backwards because I'm gonna have to write what it is. Well, no, you guys are all just gonna have to. You'll probably figure out what it is.
You follow along. I'll tell you what. I will
along.
describe what I taste. If anyone has a guess on what it is, and the first person who gets it right, I'll send them a corkscrew.
Wait, but they can see it.
Oh, well, don't tell them.
Oh no. Well, I mean.
Let's do this.
Let me get your nose flap. Nose. Oh no! Here, tuck it under. Tuck it under. Your little nose flap. You might want to just tuck it under. There you go. All right. Can you see? All right, you guys.
I'm as blind as I have ever been.
Oh, this one's a little colder.
Okay.
Here I'm showing them what it is. You're gonna love this. It's gonna be great. Okay, it's in a non-stemmed glass, right in front of you.
The hell?
It's weird. Trust me.
Okay. I really don't think this is wine.
But what is it?
That would be unsweetened almond milk.
Yeah. I wasn't
So
sure.
damn, I can get unsweetened almond milk. I can't tell the difference between Cabernet Sauvignon and Lagrigne.
When I smelled it, because I was looking for something
It is
for you. When I smelled it, I was like, what?
It smells like coconut. It smells like coconut and vanilla.
All right, I know. That was, unsweetened almond milk. It was the weirdest liquid that
That's
I could
not doing
find
anything
in
for
the
me.
house.
I don't know what it is. I have no idea, but I'm not going back for a second glass of that, but I am going through.
I'm sorry, Annie.
No, that was beautiful. That was good. I was hoping it was Pliny the Elder, but then I would have. I'm down to 4 beers in the house. 4 beers.
I'm sorry.
It's sad. I'm sure I'll have to end up getting some more.
I think you've got enough wine, though.
Yeah, but sometimes I want beer.
It's definitely this year.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
year is almond milk, yes.
We do. We have found that we were stocking up, Peter, and then the problem is frozen almond milk. Once you bring it back, it doesn't ever really become anything close to what you would want to put in milk or put in cereal or put in coffee. And I would say,
I use it for my tea.
And protein shakes.
And protein.
Yes, that's about what we do.
When we're working out, we're pumped.
So what did we learn today? So I would say, and first of all, I was mentioning a little bit earlier over on the Facebook time, a little bit early before we started the official broadcast, is that 2 things that I'm really, really excited about coming up is that I'm going to be retooling the show a little bit, and we're going to be doing things a little bit different, probably starting next week. And that is, I'm going to be doing 2 15-minute presentations on Monday and Wednesday, and then we're going to be doing a guest presentation Zoom webinar on Fridays. So on Mondays and Wednesdays, we're going to do some little educational jib, and we're going to kind of like separate it. So I'm going to do a live, I'm going to stop the live, and then I'm going to start another live, and we're going to do 2 15 minutes so we can put them up on YouTube, so people who go over to YouTube will actually watch my videos, seeing that they're actually shorter than 1 hour and 13 minutes. So I do think that having a 75-minute video is probably a little discouraging for the folks that are deciding to watch my stuff. And I'm convinced that that we can teach you guys about wine, and we can teach the world about wine. I just want to get people involved. So if you have ideas for the show, I'm going to be asking you guys to help me retool the show. We're going to be going over some of the subjects that we've gone over before, but not all. And we're going to choose some really exciting new subjects and taste a bunch of new wines. And you ready? J.Wilkes is releasing in the next month Cab Franc and a sparkling wine. So we bought 50 cases of sparkling wine from Norm Yost at Flying Goat. So if you've never had the goat bubbles, Flying Goat and Norm Yost have been made the Clos Pepe sparkling wine, the Brut Rosé that we sold for 5 or 6 different vintages. Some of the best domestic sparkling wine I've ever had. This is truly a handmade wine, hand sorted, hand riddled, hand disgorged. Actually, they finally got one of the little nitrogen baths. So they're actually using a 20th century technology now, which is brand new. So if you've never had Norm's sparkling wines, they are some of the most amazingly crafty sparkling wines you'll ever have. That wine will only be available at the tasting room in Santa Barbara, 35 State Street, which is still open for tasting. Get a reservation because only 8 people. Outdoors, only 8 people at a time. Great crew down there, take really, really good care of you. I do recommend, if you're going to go to the tasting room, first of all, go to the website, jwilkes.com, make sure you make a reservation. And if I were you, and I knew that I was a viewer of Day Drinking with Wes Hagen, I would send me an email at whagen@jwilkes.com and say, bro, come into the tasting room. What can you do for us? Because I will hook your boop up. That's my job. I'm the brand ambassador in the Raconteur. If I don't make your experience 10 times better, damn, I'm going to get fired. This is my job. Stay at home and make amazing experiences for people. So if you have that opportunity.
Ian helped pick for some of the goat bubbles.
Nice. So these are going to be Sierra Madre. But you know us, we don't do vineyard designates, so we're going to designate it as Santa Maria Valley. But it is 100% Sierra Madre, which of course is one of my favorite cities in the winter in LA. Summer it gets a little hot out there, but I have good friends in Sierra Madre. Yeah, Sierra Madre. No, Sierra Madre City, and then there's the Sierra Madre Vineyard, which is in the Santa Maria Valley.
Oh, okay, I'm like, what?
Sorry.
You're talking about 2 different things.
Lovely thing about Chanda is she only speaks Wes semi-fluently. Well, she speaks Wes fluently. She knew that, but she'll oftentimes remind me that people don't live in my brain, and sometimes language requires specificity.
I like things to be accurate.
Yes, absolutely, and we will bring on. And we will bring on, that
was at the Clos.
Was that? That was the second. That was 2009 was the first goat bubbles.
But
right.
Ian was saying.
So 11 was the third goat bubbles, and I think 14 was the last. No, maybe 13 was the last, or was there a 14? There might have been a 14. I think it was 09 to 14.
I don't know. I got,
like 6 vintages.
I guess I wasn't there the last.
And you know how many bottles of Clos Pepe bubbles we have? And I tried to save 1 bottle for our 20th anniversary. I'm going to probably have to see if Norm can pull one out of the cellar, because that's certainly something we have to drink.
I know.
Yep, so September 9th, we're going to be a 20-year married couple.
That's like kind of coming up, actually.
That is kind of coming up, and looking forward to it.
This year's gone by so fast, being that I haven't left the house since my birthday on March 11th.
Oh, you've left the house?
Barely.
Yeah, I mean, walking the dog, getting out. I guess
we went to Home Depot once.
We went to Home Depot, which showed me that I probably didn't want to go back out because people were cheating on the masks and not doing the right thing.
Like half the people were just walking around wearing masks, talking to people, just being normal.
Yeah.
And like, hello.
Well, I think what we've learned from this whole thing, 2 things that I would like to share. One is that pandemic protocol is not digital. It's not a 0 or a 1. It's not like we're all at home or we're all out partying. It's a matter of care for the most vulnerable people. So it's not. I mean, I don't want to be a kind of a jerk about it, but it's not about healthy people. It's about elderly people, first responders,
and a lot of people who look perfectly healthy are actually not. Type 1 diabetic. He will die. No one get him sick. No one breathe.
I got a bunk pancreas. If anyone sees one laying around that is ready to work, or if you are a scientist, do continue this beautiful work on turning rabbit lungs into human pancreases.
Oh wait, I got bunnies.
And so
let's get on this.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, no, anything we can do to encourage people to take care of the most vulnerable among us. I think what we're asking ourselves now is, who is supporting those who are the most vulnerable, and who are the people that are just saying everything is more important than the people that are threatened?
If you're not wearing a mask, it just means you're selfish.
Yeah.
You're a selfish person who does not care about anyone else. That is what most people who are disabled or ill or at risk think about every person not wearing a mask in public. We were talking that we see people without masks. It's sort of like seeing someone smoking.
You know, it's like you might think you look cool, but in the end, we're like, you know, when we see someone smoking, we're like, I'm really glad I quit smoking. I'm really glad I'm not putting myself and other people around us in health danger. It's not going to kill you right away, but it's not a smart move. And I read, and maybe it's even worse than that. Maybe that's actually giving it credit. I read something that just came out on Reddit just a couple hours ago, that in a certain area of a province of India, if you're caught either not social distancing or without a mask, you are not, it's kind of like a house arrest. You are forced to work,
what's that,
work release,
yeah.
you are brought in, and for 3 weeks you are forced to work in a hospital or work at a check stop checking people for COVID. 3 weeks, no mask, you need to work 3 weeks to help the pandemic. You know, it kind of reminds me of those judges that, you know, force people to hold signs up. I was an idiot, you know.
I'm into it.
But if we could do something where I can't imagine someone going to an ICU unit and seeing people struggling on ventilators would ever actually leave and perhaps not wear a mask. So.
or all the people who think it's fake. Just, yeah.
And by the way, I mean, if you are in the in our wine club manager's father passed away at 72 in March in Los Angeles with 0 complications. We're talking daily jogger, super healthy, not a problem, and got COVID, hospital, dead 4 days later. So in March, I knew someone who had passed away from this virus. So I'm immunocompromised. Is that right? Or am I immunosuppressed? I always forget.
It's complicated as a diabetic. Put it this way, if he gets sick, it may or may not be the virus that killed him. It would be his blood sugar that would kill him. So
it doubles or triples my mortality.
It's gnarly.
So yeah, you're not going to probably see me on the road until I'm vaccinated and happy. So it's all well and good. So what did we learn today about blind tasting? Number one.
I remember someone mentioning that they said that everyone should try this.
Absolutely.
Like, try it at home. Just find a dark glass, or like a glass that you can't see through, or put on a blindfold.
It's kind of like you could do it by the refrigerator and do it kind of sexy and like lingerie and go kind of like 9.5 weeks on it. You know, I don't know if you remember 9.5 weeks. We're going to go watch 9.5 weeks. I hope you guys had a nice time.
No, I'm good. I'm good. No.
No, it's, but the idea is to challenge yourself, and I will never taste rosé the same way again. It did bust my ego up something fierce because I thought I had my head wrapped around it. Thank goodness.
You got, oh no, yeah.
I only got one right.
Sorry.
The third,
I feel like a winner.
The third one, I was kind of going around and round and round. The bull was chasing me, and I just kept jumping up on the rails, and I just would not let let it go. So, yeah, no. Dave says he wouldn't get the almond milk. That was the easiest one. Alcohol confounds me. I thought you were
gonna like sniff it for a while, because I knew once you tasted it you'd probably get it, but I thought you were gonna like sniff it for longer, and then I was gonna be like giggling. But
at first I thought it could be some type of sort of dude cocktail, like a White Russian. I thought maybe she served me a White Russian, and I was thinking, what a great wife who would give me a White Russian at 5:30.
Honestly, we don't have very many beverages in our house. We have wine.
I've got cream. I've got Kahlua.
Well, no,
I've got
but I'm
vodka?
just. Well, I could.
No, I don't have vodka.
No, I was just thinking of like a. I mean, you would get a spirit immediately. Like you would for sure get a spirit. So I couldn't choose a spirit. I was just looking for like a random, nondescript liquid that I could slip in there.
I like that. It was that or a. What are the two flavors of sparkling water that we're convinced are the same? It's
one's like a lime,
cucumber melon,
and strawberry. Yeah.
Get yourself cucumber melon, like sparkling water, like a La Croix or whatever, bubbly, and then also get the strawberry. The two are almost indistinguishable.
And randomly, the tangerine smells like fish.
Yeah, that's your problem because you have a super palate. I don't have to worry about that. So she just gets weird stuff out of it too. Yes, I agree. So Tom, I believe that's Tom from Report. More often, we are fun together. Yes, that just means extra showers and extra primping.
I mostly only talk about disability advocacy and dogs. So if you guys want to hear about disability advocacy and education, I'm your woman. Or dogs.
We do have
a very limited subject matter.
I think this Friday we got Ken Brown, and then I think one of the Fridays in the future we are going to do another hangout with Chanda and Wes, and we're going to do dog training, disability, and all kinds of fun stuff. So that'll be all ones of fun. I don't know. I'll post the new schedule tomorrow because I need to go through it and get everything set. I certainly will. I will definitely let my wife know when she's planning on being on camera.
Hold up my own head in this position.
That's okay. We're just about through. So I really appreciate all of you coming out tonight. I had a great time blind tasting. Thank you. Everyone except James Kennedy for not making fun of me. James Kennedy, thank you for making fun of me. It made my night. It was absolutely fantastically fun. We'll do this every once in a while because maybe every once a month we'll do blind tasting. We'll expand it next time. And
we could do like our wine cellar closet.
Yeah,
I could pick from there. That would be too hard.
And people could even we could even put up an email and people could tell you what they want to what they think might confound me. That would kind of be kind of fun. And maybe I'll even put together a little kind of little something or other that would help you guys all kind of understand the process I'm going through the deductive process. Again, normally I would go sparkling, white, pink, red. Obviously I failed in that tonight. Then I would kind of think about old world, new world. Then I would start thinking about varietals. Tonight was a little different because I only had a multiple choice of almost 20. I'm a little disappointed that I didn't get all three. And I'm a little surprised that I was thinking those clunky tannins, the big tannins in the Cabernet were something in the Italian varietal.
Yeah, Peter Rogers thinks that we should really test you. So I like the idea of people giving me suggestions and then I can go around and find them and put that out for you.
Well, thanks, Mark. I've been slightly working on getting our health a little bit more in order. As I said last few times, if you get out of prison all ripped, you should definitely be working out in quarantine. This is the greatest opportunity we've ever had to read, to understand, to do things we've never done before, to go outside and experience things. So it's an absolutely wonderful thing. So I will leave you tonight the same way that I leave you every night, and is to encourage you guys to go out and make the world a better place. We are in a slightly broken world. And the nicest thing about something that's broken is we can glue it back together in any way that we want. So the coolest thing about this moment in time is that we have an amazing capacity to put the world back together the way that we see fit. Not the way that they saw fit in imperial England 200 years ago. Not in the way that we saw the world before the Civil War or during the Civil War or even during Jim Crow. We, at this moment, have the opportunity to make America and the world an incredibly beautiful place. I'm seeing it in my neighborhood, and I know you guys are too. Kindness, compassion, everything that we were hoping for. Now it's a matter of how can we normalize this? How can we normalize waving and smiling to every single person we see driving through our neighborhood? How can we normalize making sure that anyone in a neighborhood feels welcome as long as they have good intentions? how can we normalize and how can we decide how to take a culture that, you know, has probably a higher prison population than any country in the world? How can we start finding ways to teach people instead of incarcerating them? How do we make flourishing? How do we make peace? And how do we make people that are happy and content? So find someone in your neighborhood that might need some help. Find someone in your family that might need some help. Reach out to a friend tonight. Make sure that you are part of the solution and that we all do whatever we can, so at some point in the near future we can all wake up and go, wow, that was a hell of a ride, and I'm really looking forward to what happens today. So we can start that tomorrow, but it's a process. So when we get to a better place, we all feel better. I hope you guys all had a fun time tonight. I will continue working and tweaking the show, let you guys know exactly what to expect, but do expect next week, Monday and Wednesday, a slightly different shorter protocol where we're going to do 2 little 15-minute sessions and we're going to break in between. So that's the plan. I hope you guys enjoyed and looking forward to seeing all of you again soon. Thanks again for hanging out. Day drinking with Wes and Chanda Hagen. Cheers, everybody.